Stop. Pay attention. You're about to take a scientific test on spotting pathological narcissism. A few images are going to flash across your screen. All you have to do is choose which number person fits you best. At the end, you'll add up your score, so remember which numbers you chose. Look at this picture and choose a number. We'll give you a few seconds. Now look at this one. We're almost done. Finally, add up your score. If, after this test, you have a number greater than 2, congratulations, you're a narcissist! Except this isn't a real test verified by science, and narcissism is much more complicated than picking from a few pictures with people in them. Follow along as we trace, learn, and explore the power of narcissism and the grip it's had on our societies since the beginning of time.
Here's an example of narcissism. Alexa, stop. Please stop playing the music. Alexa's being very narcissistic right now. Our first threshold is the Big Bang. Now, the Big Bang started time, which began the long journey for the evolution of the type of mindset known as pathological narcissism. Time can relate to both pathological narcissism and the Big Bang because narcissism is based on a brain process that involves time to generate these ideas and time relating to the Big Bang because that's when it was essentially created. Since the Big Bang is one of the main or origin theories, it also tends to change minds in a similar pattern as to how pathological narcissism changes people's perspectives. And on to new chemical elements. Some of the first elements created in this universe is used in our body to generate these hormones or feelings for the creation of narcissistic thoughts. These hormones cause the brain to transfer these thoughts and cause different views on other individuals based on their actions. The original elements were created through reactions in the early universe and is similar to the way narcissistic ideas are processed. Because of the reaction of chemicals in our brain and the excretion of the different hormones as the outcome of the reaction.
Skipping ahead to way after the creation of the elements in the solar system to between 2 million and 600,000 years ago, we meet early humans. There might have been an evolutionary advantage to displaying narcissistic traits. An article by National Geographic shows that overestimating one's abilities has helped others to get food and survive on a day-to-day basis in the past. When choosing to engage in any sort of hunt or battle for food, an early human had 2 options: to pursue it or to leave it alone and search elsewhere. Overestimating their abilities has helped them to go to the battle more often than not, and in turn, secure their food of plate for the night. And although overestimation isn't exactly narcissism, it's shown that narcissism does have some genetic factors, so this might be the reason that the genetic material still exists today. Transitioning from hunter-gatherer societies to those based on agriculture was a major feat for early humans. Agriculture was the beginning and start in the creation of social societies, hierarchy, and government, and narcissism is a disorder that has many effects that apply to a person throughout their social situations.
In the modern revolution, and during the Age of Reason, a common factor that we see in today's society is the increase in political views or political-based topics and influences. Pathological narcissism shares common features with politics because of how some political mindsets, views, or ideas are better than others, or how political leaders can tend to put a group of people down and put themselves first. It can also create these emotions because of mixed feelings and people will get when discussing politics and how people will put their ideas first and respond to others in a narcissistic way.
How do you think narcissism will continue to affect our society in the future?
So one thing is for sure, it's not going away. There will always be people around with narcissistic personality disorder. Looking at twin studies, we know that there is some genetic influence that causes this disorder. So it's always going to be around in the future because of genetics. Not everyone who has this disorder in their genes will manifest it, and that's because you also have nurture that plays into whether or not you're going to have these problems. If someone was born with that genetic makeup, they may never actually show those signs or have that disorder manifest itself because they had a healthy childhood and they didn't go through any extreme trauma. What I would say is that how will this affect us in the future? We need to start looking at mental health services for people. We need to look at how can we help young children cope with trauma and stressors. How can we reach out and provide the mental health support that we need to provide people so that if they experience these types of things, that in the future that this disorder has less likelihood of taking control of their life.
Narcissists today often negatively impact the relationships around them. Whether the relationship is romantic, parental, familial, or any other connection, the behavior of the affected individual is greatly impacted throughout life. Some examples of this can be a parental connection where the affected parent abuses their child, whether it be physically or emotionally. In these cases, the same can also be said for romantic relationships. In romantic relationships, the narcissist may try to cause damage, this including manipulation, exploitation, damaging their partner's self-esteem, and other forms of mental or physical abuse. These effects can permanently damage the partner and may cause more mental illnesses.